us right now. Get the calendar down and draw a circle around the day we're having bound. When it's sugar cane time and around about June, all the birds will be singing neath that old sugar moon. Right now, get the calendar down and draw a circle around the day we're having bound. When it's sugar cane time and around about June, I'll be walking with my sugar neath that old sugar moon.
More drink from my K-State cup. I really like it. Here we go. Look! Up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's IdeaTech.
One rural Kansas geeks, one part superconnectors, offering innovative solutions built around your unique needs and requirements. IdeaTech blends listening with creativity to design a fiber-based delivery system to serve your exact needs. They will bring ideas, tools, and spirit to give you connectivity that's fast, simple, and affordable. IdeaTech understands your needs with every fiber of their being. In 2013, IdeaTech was listed in Inc. magazine as one of the top 100 fastest-growing telecommunication companies in the United States and among the top 30 fastest-growing companies in Kansas. For the third time, IdeaTech was recently named to the Inc. 5000 list of the fastest-growing private companies in America. So when you think of super fast, super powerful, super sensitive to your connection needs, think the super geeks at IdeaTech.
Crossroads Christian Church, an interdependent Christian fellowship that meets on the north edge of Hutchinson, has been in existence for about 40 years. Encountering Christ allows us to begin anew, leading to a phrase that says it all: start life over. Their vision is to work with God as He brings about an unprecedented awakening of hope through reconciliation with Jesus Christ. It is their mission to hear, seek, and obey God's heart through a daily walk, and to teach and mentor God's people for Christ's sake, in order that even more people will come to Jesus Christ, and God will be praised.
Way down in the stacks at the library, there dwells a young maiden quite fair. She's Lola, the lonely librarian, and she talks to folks who aren't there.
Hello. I am Pam Fast, the librarian. I work with a lovely young lady named Lola Gagarin, the Hungarian, Unitarian, vegetarian, assistant librarian. And I like her just fine, but she has some issues, let's say. Often when I send her into the stacks to find books for our patrons, she takes much longer than she should. When I look for her, invariably I find her talking away. And here's the odd part. There's never anyone around. Like just last week. Hey, Lola.
Yes, Pam?
We had a call from someone who would like to check out our entire Emily Dickinson collection. She needs to pick it up in an hour. I have a list of books here. Would you be a dear and pull them for me?
Of course, Pam. You know I love any excuse to linger among the stacks.
Yes, I know. Well, try not to hurry. Try not to hurry, dear.
Okay, Miss Dickinson, where are you? A, B, C, D, Dickens. Okay, here you are. Oh no, wait. You're Charles Dickens, not Emily Dickinson. Oh, but what lovely, wonderful things you wrote. Here's David Copperfield, and Oliver Twist, and Barnaby Rudge, and Nicholas Nickleby, and here's A Christmas Carol. I've always loved that. I read it each Christmas. God bless us, everyone. And here's thanks ever so much, Lola, you charming girl, and... Oh, what?
I said, thanks ever so much, Lola, you charming, charming girl.
Oh, no, not again. Oh, why is this always happening to me?
What's the matter, dear?
It's just that you books are always talking to me, and I know that can't be right, and people look at me funny, and I'm afraid of losing my job, and... Do you really think I'm charming?
Of course I do. I was always good with adjectives. I've seen you browsing here, pulling out many of my companions and snatching a quick read of a few of my pages along the way. I've seen you savor the words on your tongue. You are a treasure, my dear.
Mr. Dickens, you are such a sweet man.
Why, thank you. And you say you read A Christmas Carol every Christmas.
Oh yes, I have my own copy.
Ah, that explains why you haven't pulled my volumes to read for yourself. You own copies.
Of course.
Oh, and now at last you have come to pull my books.
Oh dear. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dickens, but actually, I haven't.
Oh?
It's not that I wouldn't like to, but I wasn't paying proper attention. I'm supposed to pull everything from Emily Dickinson down the row here.
Emily Dickinson? I don't believe I've heard of her. Did she come after me? That is in time, not alphabetically.
Actually, no, sir. She was your contemporary, born just 18 years after you, and she died 16 years after you. But she wasn't published until 1890, 20 years after you died.
And 4 years after I myself passed away, more so pity. But I read you, dear sir.
Miss Dickinson, there you are.
Ah, so this is Emily Dickinson. Miss Dickinson, lovely to make your acquaintance, and you say you have read my work.
But of course, you were serialized in the papers.
That I was. Are you also a novelist?
Oh, no, indeed, Mr. Dickens. Miss Dickinson is a poet. She was known as the Belle of Amherst.
Was I now? How nice. But actually, I wasn't fine enough in face or form to be known as a belle.
Oh, but your poetry showed your soul, and it was beautiful.
Was it? Pity I didn't get to read it.
There's one poem that I especially love. She didn't name her poems. A terrible oversight, if you don't mind my saying so, Miss Dickinson. I mean, it's impossible to recall them by their number when you wrote nearly 1,800 of them.
My stars, milady, you are quite prolific.
As were you, Mr. Dickens.
You both take the cake when it comes to churning it out. I'll agree to that. But the poem I like the best, I call it Wild Nights, because that's how it begins. Let me recite it to you, Mr. Dickens.
Not that one. Surely they didn't print that one.
Of course they did. It's a fantastic poem.
Thank you. But but it was not intended to be read aloud before a gentleman whose acquaintance I have only just briefly made.
Oh, we don't worry about such things anymore.
Perhaps you do not, but Mr. Dickens and I are of a different era.
Wild Nights, you say? I should like to hear it.
It goes like this. Wild nights, were I with thee, wild nights should be our luxury. Futile the winds to heart and port, done with the compass, done with the chart. Rowing in Eden, ah, the sea, might I but moor tonight in thee.
My stars.
I did ask you not to tell it.
It's been a long time since I've recited that poem. I'd forgotten the depth of passion it reflects.
Now, my dear Miss Dickinson, may I call you Emily? Seeing how we are, after all, contemporaries and fellow prodigious writers, I am a man of the world enough to understand metaphor when I hear it.
I'm unsure what you mean, Mr. Dickens.
Call me Charles, please.
All right, Charles.
Lola,
Oh, yes, Pam, I'm right here.
is there someone here with you? I thought I heard you speaking.
Well, that is, I have the books you wanted. Everything about Emily Dickinson, the Belle of Amherst.
Wonderful. Give them to me and I'll go check them out. The grad student will be here any minute.
I'll take them up front, Pam. I don't think my presence is required or even wanted back here right now.
All right. She may be odd, but she does great work in the stacks.
Way down in the stacks of the library, there dwells a young maiden quite fair. She's Lola, the lonely librarian, and she talks to folks who aren't there.
Have you ever needed a good computer password with 6 or more digits and used Hoffnungs because nobody can spell it? There's a story behind that name. On the day in 1874 that a number of group Mennonite emigres from Russia were out looking over the land to determine where they would settle, they came to a high ridge north of present-day Bueller and could overlook the wide stretch of prairie to the east and north. They seemed well pleased with that place. One of the men remarked in German, "This is truly a hopeful meadow view." This became the name of the church that was organized.
Hoffnungs has a rich meaning. Although the open prairie east of the Bueller Ridge was a hopeful meadow in terms of geography, it also represented a higher hope. The hope of Hoffnungs is, in fact, worshiping a faithful God who, from generation to generation, offers forgiveness and redemption. Hoffnungs Mennonite Church extends to you its welcome. Come join the congregation in worship or at Bible study. Make friends, develop a deep relationship with Christ, and yes, maybe even learn to spell Hoffnungs.
And now on our stage, I have the pleasure of introducing 2 honored members of the community who have graciously volunteered to donate their time to answer some questions pre-submitted by members of you, the audience. Jess Harder and Lita Keefe. Ladies and gentlemen, life begins at 80.
I think he did.
I thought we were getting paid for this.
You better get it in writing, I always say.
Oh, well, what's the first question?
Well, this comes from Turtle Trauma. She's age 12, and she writes to us. I have a turtle named Slavery. I named him that because he tends to drool a little. He's a great pet and a terrific racing turtle. He has won a lot of races. My problem is whenever I race my turtle, people get mad and boo us, even though he's a really fast turtle and he deserves to win. The minute I begin to cheer him on, people start scowling at me and they boo us. I yell, "Go slavery, go slavery," and they yell, "Down with slavery, down with slavery." It makes me feel bad, even if slavery doesn't seem to be affected. I love my pet, and I want to continue racing him, but it hurts my feelings when people say bad things about him. What should I do?
I had a racing turtle when I was a boy. We were so well known that we raced all the way to the state finals. I called him Whiz. I had to take him on the bus to Topeka because my parents couldn't take time off for the work to take me. They wouldn't let me check my turtle. He was a pretty big fellow, so I was forced to buy a ticket for him.